The following is intended for a mature audience. Viewer discretion advised.
Hey everyone, welcome to our ASMR podcast channel. I'm Spazz and I'm here with my good friend Luke Bianchi. Luke, can you please say hello to the people out there that are watching this piece of crap?
Hello, this is
Luke, did you hear a word? Say that one more time, I interrupted you.
Hello, this is Lubey Donkey.
We are doing a remote podcast. This is one of the first instances where I am doing this because I just wanted to test out the limits of what my devices are capable of and just wanting to see if it's actually possible to record a MP3 video, audio only tape over an MP4 on Zoom. So let's see how far we can take this along before everything just crashes on us entirely. So Luke,
30 minutes.
Pedophiles.
The Smash community.
Recent news have come out saying that a majority of famous streamers and players from the infamous Super Smash Bros. Series. I grew up with the series. I'm a fan of the series. I've been playing the series ever since the first one. Yeah, even the first one back in N64, from the second one on GameCube, third one on the Wii, fourth one on the Wii U, and now fifth one finally on the Nintendo Switch. Luke, what's your history again with the Super Smash Bros. Video game franchise?
I started in Melee. After Melee, I died out. And then I just picked it up with Ultimate, and now I'm very into Ultimate.
Okay, you seem to have missed out on a little gap right there. I mean, I played a good amount of Brawl back when it came out with the Wii, but then I did kind of take a Nintendo break throughout middle school and high school, so I never got to play Smash 4 that much at all. I would only play it at friends' houses, but...
All I know about Smash 4 is that Zero was the king of Smash 4, and now Zero is the king of pedophilia.
I don't know anything about any streamers whatsoever. Maybe 95% of the streamers out there, no matter what video games, I just don't know who they are. So whether it's a coincidence or not, a bunch of famous Smash streamers and players who have been known to be good at Smash have been good at smashing young children.
Well, the thing is, most of them, okay, from what I've seen, most of them aren't super young. We're not talking 5 or 6 year olds. We're
talking late minors.
Yes, late minors. Okay.
Have they publicly went out and announced this stuff, or did other people find out and they just release it out on the internet?
It started out with them getting found out. Apparently, in the community, there was a lot of rumors to begin with, and then it came out, and a lot of the people that were doing pedophilia acts admitted to it. An example would be Zero. Zero came out and said, "Yes, I did this. Yes, I'm a horrible person. Please do not support me." As soon as it came out, a good amount of people owned up to it.
You just can't hide anything about, once you get popular, once you just gain a following, people will find out every single thing that you've done, even if you don't want them to, whether on the internet, especially if it's on the internet that you've done multiple stuff. If it's already out there in the public, they're going to find out. And I guess even stuff that you never wanted it to be on the internet, which is really terrifying to think about. But that's, again, it's a double-edged sword, I would say. It has its good and bad attributes of people finding out everything about you. Because if you are just a garbage human being who deserves criticism for for the actions that you've committed in the past, people will find that out. Ergo, it can also be said that people who want to escape their past and people who are very different from who they were before in the past and who want to just get away from that person they used to be and who are successfully different people from that than they were, it sucks having people just blatantly compare you to the person you were years ago, you could say.
True, but another problem with it is that a lot of non-pedophilias in the Smash community got caught up in this. And they did nothing wrong, but they had to admit some things from their past just to get out of being accused.
That's an actual issue I feel that occurs with many in real life, which obviously has more dire consequences than anything that can happen on the internet. False accusations of both pedophilia and both unconsensual sexual acts. It sucks because even just the claim that this person, I'm not discriminating and saying, it's always female blaming males, but it could be either way, where one individual accuses another of assaulting them in any way. Even if those accusations turn out to be false completely, those accusations alone can ruin a person's life. It seriously can. Just the fact that they are called out for something that they never, whether they did or did not do it, their lives are completely just ruined for it, which is just even more tragic when they're innocent.
True. The main example from the Smash instant was Mewtwo King, if you know who that is. He's one of the 5 gods in Melee. and he got accused of raping a girl. He came out and said, "There's no way that I did this because," and I'm not going to go into the full detail. Basically, there was something wrong with his dick, so where he couldn't do it. And he had this great video, you should check it out, where he came out and he talked about it and how it's been such an issue with his life, with his mental state and everything. But he had to come out with all this embarrassing things that he really didn't want to talk about because somebody falsely accused him of rape. And that's like another part of this whole cancel culture, that once you get one, you try and get all of them. But not everybody's a bad guy. Like there was a huge amount of people in the Smash community that were doing terrible things. But Mewtwo King was called out for something that he had absolutely no connections with at all.
That's just miserable and humiliating. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes for that. That sucks. That really sucks.
I saw the video and I was just like, my God, like it was a mix between feeling absolutely sorry for the person and just cringing on how bad it was. But another thing that I want to bring up, or when you were talking about how you're not saying it's one-sided, like women can do it and men can do it. Usually when the concept of pedophilia and such comes out, you're usually thinking of like a 40-year-old man, creeping around fucking kids with a white van. But there was actually a female Smash player that had sexually assaulted a male minor. He was a 14-year-old boy in the Smash community, and he's pretty well known also. It kind of just goes to show you that you shouldn't really have a bias on who it's gonna be, because it could really be either or,
Oh geez, how appropriate that the video game franchise of all of these pedophilias has the word Smash in it. So I think that's some dark humor for all the edgy people out there.
I don't know how other fighting tournaments go, but from what I understand, for a good amount of Smash tournaments, they would just be at like somebody's house or somebody's garage or some like dive bar or something, okay? And they would allow obviously preteens to go, but then also you're having preteens and then you're 25 plus up people, okay? And there's kind of no safeguard of like who's watching who and who's taking care of who. Like they can just go and be fine, There's not like one person guarding everything, making sure everything's okay. So apparently what happened was this is going on for a long time, and just now it's coming to the light.
I hear that starting now they're gonna have tournaments be like a certain age group and up, like only 18 and up or 21 and up members are allowed to be inside, a specific location wherever these Smash tournaments are being held at, which is it's not a bad idea, but it's just crazy because it's video game. Like these people just play video games. Like you would just never think what people are really capable of behind the scenes. It's scary. The people that we associate with, our own little friend group that also plays Smash, like, can you see them like doing anything related to this? Like once we get older, or like in a few years, do you think? We're not gonna say specific names, but can you think? Like, don't say specific names. That's rude.
Yes, I can see one of them.
Oh no, that's not good, Luke. You're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to be defending. We're supposed to be defending the future pedophiles out there.
Well, it's not because of Smash. It's just the person himself.
Yeah, so it is. That's true. Just because they play a certain video game doesn't entitle them to be a certain. Yeah.
Because fair. You can go anywhere. Like in the 70s and the 80s, it was the rock stars. You have sports players doing it. It's not necessarily a specific group of people. It's just people in general, Or it's always going to be people doing that, It's not because of being a rock star or being a Smash player or being a football player or whatever. Yeah, I think that pedophilia is disgusting. I think that it's wrong.
Yeah, let's move on. Actually, I don't really want to talk about this anymore. It's just, I don't know. It's draining. It's gross. We could put a pin in it and talk about pedophilia another time. But in the meantime,
all of our podcasts that have me in them, they always start as very draining.
They start very draining and just very dire topics indeed. Which it's enjoyable in its own way. Luke, you got that special trait so far, it seems. So, from people making such a big income nowadays, just playing video games behind a screen and streaming it to thousands of people who like to sit down and just watch other people play a video game, it's come to be notorious that, hey, should these people who have, and I quote, careers like this be able to accept, and by our nation's capitalistic nature, it is technically legal for these streamers to be collecting donations and incomes just from playing video games. I'm not saying they only play video games, but that is definitely a majority of the time that they spend doing, and they end up making a lot more money than someone who works a minimum wage job or anyone who works in any other field. Most job fields out here, especially early, people in our demographic age range, from ages like 18 to 24 right now, 18 to 25 even, I would say, that are making a lot less money doing harder labor work. So what do you think about that? Like, what do you think about the concept of streamers making an income like that?
I mean, there's a couple ways to look at it. One way is that it's kind of the same thing as comedians or professional athletes, where you have some people that have put in hours and hours and hours of their life dedicated to this specific thing, and they've become extremely good at it. And they also have a great personality, great jokes and everything. And I mean, we give sports people however much money, for branding and other reasons. And we sell out movies and all these other stuff for comedians. A lot of streamers, they kind of just combine the both without the sports part, obviously, but instead with gaming. So they have a good personality, a good people, and they're streaming, and people just enjoy watching them. There's not necessarily anything wrong with that specifically. I understand that the problem that people have is that they're making so much more money than an actual job of working at a minimum wage place, But if you get good enough at something and people enjoy watching you do it, there's nothing really wrong with that. And it's up to that person it's really up to that person.
Right.
What?
You're right. I'm just being bitter right now because I wish I could make thousands of dollars just playing video games every month. Which who's stopping me? If I really want to pursue that, I can. I personally just don't see the appeal in watching other people play a video game that I could be playing myself. Or just obviously we can't. Obviously, it's not advised to go outside right now in this day and age. Right now,
it is the same thing.
Cancel culture and coronavirus. Second,
it's the same thing where people will be like, why are you watching that? Go just play the game themselves. And then they'll watch people play hockey or basketball or whatever. And usually...
Well, that's sports games, though.
No. Like sports in general. Like they'll watch people play sports.
Oh, like actual sports? Oh,
yeah.
Wait, what? That's a thing still?
And then, well, it's coming back. They have like a lot of things because people really want to see people play sports. Like a huge majority of the population want to watch sports. And usually their argument is that, I could never do that. I can never be as good of a player as that. So I'm watching these peak performers play an amazing game at the absolute best. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But then the same argument can be said for Smash tournaments, Call of Duty tournaments, League tournaments. It's a game that is being played by the absolute best in the world. And people enjoy watching that. If you have an argument for watching walkthroughs, okay, and just that, then I guess you can make that argument. But usually the player is either comedic or very attractive, and that's what usually brings people in,
Segue. Good segue, Luke. So from there, we're going to discuss more or less the double standard when it comes to, and I quote, female streamers. Can we say female and male anymore, Luke? It seems that there's social constructs according to politics out there. Apparently, we can't just categorize male and females anymore, but I'm just going to call them females.
Well, I mean, I guess it kind of depends because we know Pokimane is a girl because she says she's a girl. And we know that another streamer, I don't know another streamer, I don't usually watch them that much, is a male.
Neither do I.
But if there was a streamer out there that says, I identify as a koala
an attack
bear,
helicopter.
Yeah, an attack helicopter koala bear, then you could be like, there's females, males, koala bears. I personally never watched any of them So when I say male or female, I don't categorize that other part, you know?
Yeah, I get it. No, I get it. Just like, again, I'm not gonna choose to watch a streamer based on their gender, based on their announced gender.
No,
I would
of
watch
course
them
not.
just based on how entertaining they are as a person in
Right,
front of a camera.
that's all it is to non-simps, you know?
Yeah, unless the streamer has to be so entertaining and has to have just mad jokes or just a mad personality to bring in my attention, where I'm not even watching them mostly to watch the video game at that point. I'm just watching to watch them. I would watch them do anything. Like I would watch them take a, go poop. I would watch them mow a lawn. I would watch them do anything because they're just such an entertaining presence, you know?
Yeah.
So when it comes to again, the double standard where female streamers will get larger sums of donations, they will just make more income because they will just bring in a bigger traffic of, again, it's not a bad thing to bring in to aim for a young demographic, and if it's being successful, obviously not aiming out to pursue anything with these young demographic or certain there's a certain word for that. I don't know if we talked about that certain word earlier, but
Simps?
it has nothing to do with
Simps.
No, not that word. It was another word that we did talk about earlier, but we'll get into that in a bit. But I just believe the line is crossed when, maybe not a line, but just to me, it gets annoying to me when they take it too far and they become egotistical and narcissistic, for that matter, because they get showered with so much praise and attention that they believe that they are the center of the world, when in reality they really are just another human being, just like any one of us. There's nothing extraordinary about them. I don't want to talk anyone down and just sound like a nihilist, but by the end of the day, I feel like that's just that's the one thing that kind of gets on my nerves slightly. Nothing against female streamers at all, just again, I could say I would come out here and say I envy that. If I was a semi-attractive female, I would sell so much ass on the internet for money.
Just sell male ass.
Male ass. Okay, so like obscured photo of male asses to other males out there who don't even who wouldn't know if it was a female or a male's ass.
Exactly. I mean,
I love that.
Just use butt.
Yeah, could do it. So I guess. But I don't have a nice as a butt anymore, as well, especially not as good as. But I'm not against that, to be honest. Like, I envy the female streamers out there who are able to embrace their thoughts, and I quote thoughts personas, and still just make more money than most of us will ever make in our life. They make more money in a month than most Americans would make an entire year. It's crazy, man. Just the idea of donating money to a complete stranger that you technically don't you don't personally know is such a crazy thing. I would only volunteer to donate money directly to a streamer if I knew them personally, and if I knew that, me giving them money would be very supportive, which in the end, that is the creation of donations and why streamers enjoy it, because it gives them motivation and it lets them, it's a good reminder to let them know, oh, hey, my viewers not only just watch my content, but they appreciate my content so much that they're willing to throw in their own income. Or, it might not even be their own income. Maybe they're even just taking it from other people. It may not be their income directly. Hence why, like most children don't have, most kids under 18, most of them just don't have an income. Most of them just mooch off money from their parents, which is normal. I get that. So I did the same. I'm guilty of the same thing. I did that for a while. So, but I never then took that money and then gave it to a whole other person on the internet. That's my little gripe with it, I would say.
But the other thing is that these grown-ass men also just giving half their paycheck away,
Have you seen that where, like, especially with the infamous Pokimane, who, dude, she just got bullied off of the internet.
What happened with that? I'm not 100%.
She's taking a month. She just announced a few days ago from this recording that she's taking about a month off, saying it's because, just for mental health. Not because, she didn't blatantly say because it was of all the bullying and smack talk she was getting from multiple people, not just multiple people on YouTube were completely just smacking her down with, declaring that she's not the nice girl that she claims to be, that she really does actually, she enjoys the attention and having the thought persona, even though she attempts to give off the vibe that, oh, she's not just a titty streamer. She's actually a woman on Twitch who enjoys streaming for the video games and who enjoys just not being, seen as a sexual object in a way. But by the end of the day, most of the arguments that these YouTubers were making were that No, she clearly does. She does embrace this persona. She does embrace this persona, and she's actually very passive aggressive and will go after other people if they have any legitimate criticisms about her. And she will actually go after those channels and try to take away their own sponsors, their own income, because she was so, and I quote, thin-skinned and couldn't handle any criticism. So a bunch of YouTubers have been coming out within like the past month or two. Videos have been coming out week by week from different channels saying, hey, I don't like her because this. And to be fair, they're fair criticisms. I wouldn't say it was just straight up bullying, not until the very end there, I would say, but the criticisms that people, that these YouTubers had, both male and female YouTubers, it wasn't just dominantly males, ganging up on just one, on this one girl streamer. It was multiple people where they all had the same arguments saying, hey, this girl is embracing her looks and is using her looks to gain a following from from other guys, but she lies and gives off the impression that she wants to be a different type of streamer, but she really isn't. So essentially, to summarize it, fake. They're calling her out for being fake, essentially, and up until she was going out and demonetizing, and she was going after specific videos that were critiquing her negatively. So that riled up even more. The YouTubers were just pumping these videos out even more just to mess with her in a way. And then finally, Leafy is here. Actually, finally came out. Like, he's been making recent videos again, and he hasn't been making videos since maybe like 2016. So after about 4 years, he's finally back on YouTube making videos, and he immediately obviously made a video talking about her. And his videos completely blew up like over this past week as he's uploaded them. Like, I would encourage you to go watch every single one of the videos just to get a good intake on on what's been going on and what's been building up over this past summer, especially.
The last Leafy video that I saw was him talking about iDubbbz being a simp. That was like his return.
Oh, that was I think that was maybe like 4 or 5 months ago. No, but like obviously he's been gaining even more traction this past week of this recording because of this video, because of all the videos on Pokimane. But it comes down to basically him and a bunch of other YouTubers ganging up on her and basically calling her out for her fake business. And she declared that she's taking the time off for mental health purposes. And in the end, these YouTubers are saying how she's going to have a fun vacation time because she does have her own boyfriend and she's a multimillionaire. So her time off of her job isn't going to feel like a vacation because they declare her whole life has been a vacation so far because all she does is stream and eat food behind a camera and just give bland reactions. And she comes out here saying, hey, it's not cool to to just blatantly take people's hard-earned videos and claim them as your own, when the argument is that all she does is just what she does the majority of the time is react to other YouTube videos made by other people, and she still gets all the income from streaming of that, essentially.
Do you think the reaction videos have killed original content?
I always hated reaction videos. I never liked them.
Because I'm asking this because I know you don't really keep up with the zombies community on Call of Duty Zombies, but in the Call of Duty Zombies community right now, there's a lot of drama because there's barely any original content, mainly because Zombies is, on an off season right now. The few original content that is being created, it's all being watched by reaction channels of other zombie YouTubers. So instead of the zombie YouTubers doing zombie videos, they'll just react to zombie videos. And the drama is, it's usually one guy named The Smith Plays. He's making all the original content. And then you have your Mr. T-Lex Fires, you have your Mr. Dog JDs, you have your whoever just reacting to them. And there's a huge trauma in there. And I'm thinking if reaction videos themselves are just destroying original content, because you get a lot more views reacting to the videos instead of the video
than the actual video itself. Yeah, I get that. I do despise channel reaction videos. Just it literally is in the title. It's all said in the title. They're gaining more traction just based off other people's work, essentially. I just think it's lazy. Again, I think it's just lazy and uncreative. And speaking of lazy and uncreative, blind supporters, blind fanaticisms of these streamers, or more specifically, the male demographic simping after the female demographic.
Are we going to talk about
I don't know.
now?
Not exactly the smoothest transition, but I wonder how this will turn out in post. So we were literally just talking about this right before we started recording, how the term simp, for short for simpleton, as obviously Webster's dictionary defines it as a male who is very much attracted to a female to the point in which they are willing to sacrifice multiple deeds and multiple acts in order to impress his female, even at the cost of their own mental and physical health in a way. That's the most efficient, that's the most technical term and scientific term that I can say it in, but I'm sure other people out there on the internet just already know what it is. But we were discussing how they're very, even though they have the same ideologies, they work very differently than simps on the internet and simps in real life. Interacting, when it comes to interacting with actual females out there. What would you say is the primal difference between internet simps and real life simps?
I think the primal difference is the end result. What I mean by that is you can have an online simp just keep giving money, and the person will never ever show any sign of attraction or even acknowledgement, But that online simp will just keep doing it no matter what, because he thinks that if he keeps doing it, eventually something will happen. But from what I've seen, is the in-person simp usually has a much quicker breaking point, and that breaking point then becomes, if you don't do this, I'm leaving, I'm gonna do this, I'm whatever.
Results are seen quicker in real life than the internet, surprisingly. That's one of the very few things that's actually faster than the internet. Real life results when it comes to interacting with other, with romantic interests.
Mm-hmm.
When someone has hopeful thoughts and desires about another human being, interacting with them in real life will have quicker results than internet, than people interacting with blind random strangers on the internet, which I completely agree with. In my own experience, in my own personal experience, and I'm sure both our personal experience, I feel so much more encouraged and so much more motivated to speak to someone in real life that I actually know, that I naturally met in person, either from work or from school, than meeting someone on the internet and growing up and I quote relationship on the internet, which I think is its own topic for another time, to be honest, because I do feel that online relationships kind of breaks the definition of a intimate relationship, in my own opinion, but feel free to disagree.
No, I agree with you. I think that the difference is relationships now are kind of a middle ground between in-person and online. Like, you have your moments that you actually are with the person, talking with them in person, going out to eat, being physical, whatever. And then you also have your instances of texting and calling and sending videos of things that are cute or funny or whatever, Even in some cases, sending money. It seems like the relationships now are kind of a mixture of just an in-person and an online.
Absolutely. And again, every person is different. Maybe, the online world of dating can work for other people. It doesn't work for me. I wish it can. It'd be so nice, but I just can't sit down. I don't have the patience nor the attention span to stick with a stranger online. I would only know for certain if this is someone I would want to be upfront honest and saying, hey, I think you're attractive, or hey, I would like to get to know you more, in a respectful manner, of course. I would love to get to know you, essentially. Let's hang out more. Let's spend more time together, possibly. Are you interested in me? Do you want to pursue something? Do you want something casual or meaningful? I feel like anything like that is just so much more doable in person. My own taste, my own opinion. That's just how I've always worked growing up.
I've never had the opportunity, because I guess I never really wanted to try online. The only time I ever tried online is when I had a Tinder. But on my Tinder, all I said was, I'm not here for a relationship. Just send me music recommendations.
That's what I did too. I literally did a fake, I did a Tinder. I made one. I think I still have it because, just for the meme of it. And I literally, the ones who have contacted back, we literally just were meme exchanging for a bit, and then we just both got bored. That's
right.
That's how Tinder's been for me also, Luke. Yeah.
Like, I've never really attempted anything, I guess. So I can't really say that it does or doesn't work for me. So far, my record for in-person is just 1 for 1.
The ideas behind dating has changed. The ideologies and basic principles of dating has changed. It seems to be getting looser. The concept of marriage in itself seems to be fading out, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't, but it just seems that humans weren't made or designed to last, to stay with the same human being for the rest of their earthly life, it seems. I really wish it does. And if you believe it still does, that's great. I really wish I still can believe that. But the more older I'm getting, the more I'm feeling like it just seems like we're not meant to be with one person forever, unfortunately.
I don't know. I mean, it kind of depends on how you look at it. If you're looking at it from a religious standpoint, then there's a lot of more things that show that you can stay together. If you kind of look at it more as we're just really intelligent animals, and even more than that, we're just really intelligent mammals. Mammals, usually apes and such, they kind of just have multiple partners. So if you look at it like that, there's a great possibility that we weren't really meant to have one person for our entire life. We were meant to just keep going around partner to partner. And that is a possibility. Maybe we've evolved to where our mental state can't handle that. And that's why we like to stay with one partner. Or maybe it's a religious thing and we were specifically designed to stay. I can't really say for sure. I don't know what you believe in or whoever is listening believes in. But it all really depends on how you view it, There shouldn't be any right or wrong way in that regard, but there also shouldn't be any judgmental way.
Whatever makes you happy. If you enjoy simping after a girl, if you enjoy simping after a stranger on the internet, if you enjoy simping after anyone, or if you enjoy just being cold and distant, if you enjoy meeting people online, if you enjoy meeting people in person, it's a wide spectrum now of dating. It's a double-edged sword. It's a good thing and a bad thing.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that only because
no, that's not allowed.
And
you're not allowed to disagree.
In both of those scenarios that you just said, one is economically, physically, and mentally draining of a person, so it's non-healthy, and then the other one is not healthy for the person that they're with. If they're cold and distant and whatever, you can be in multiple relationships, which is fine. I'm not saying that that's not fine, but if you treat the person that you're in that relationship with, and this could even be with just I forget the word, where it's just one person per relationship. If you are cold and you're distant and hurtful to that other person, then it's not a healthy thing to do. Like, being happy and healthy can be separate, because you can think that you're happy, but you're actually draining yourself emotionally because of the person that you're with or the person that you're trying to be with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It should always be you're looking out for yourself first and know what is actually healthy for you.
Absolutely, Luke. That's a great topic for another time, I would say. Getting more in depth. We'll certainly talk more specifics in relationships next time. Next time I have you over. It's great.
You mean next time we're in my backyard?
Either way, Luke, it could be any way. We could both be in the restroom together. We could both be in the shower together. We could be in your backyard. We could be in your pool. It could be anywhere, Luke. Anywhere you want. I'm all game. I'm all game for it.
What about in the back of William's car on the beach?
That sounds amazing. I'd love to just hear the ocean side. Having the ocean crashing just beside us.
If we had like a generator or something, I would be 100% down to do that.
We'd have to. I'm so down. No. That does sound great. Yeah, no, we'll do that. We'll do that for sure, man. Next time. Or here we'll start scheduling one out for that. That'll be awesome. All right. That being said, we're at about 40 minutes now. I think that's a good appropriate one because I don't know when this Zoom call is going to abruptly cut off. I just know they have a 45-minute limit. It hasn't given me any warning so far. That kind of has me worried, to be honest, because I feel like it would just abruptly cut off mid-sentence. So that being said, to all the peeps who have listened, who have tuned in for today, this was Spazz Podcast episode whatever. I don't know what episode this is.
5.5.
Whatever. Here to release and talk about our own personal issues and resolving them with strangers on the internet. So it's great. All right. This is Luke Bianchi and Sebastian Ibanez signing off.
Bye.
Please take care of you. Please be safe.